Let's go ahead and go over to the color page. What pops up, you have your node tree here. And you can get very complicated and complex with this, but for right now, we're just going to be operating with serial nodes. We're not going to get into parallel, mixer nodes, and all those things. If you want to add nodes quickly in the color page, you can hit Alt S. It will automatically add a serial node in front of your existing one. But if you want to add a node behind, you can hit Shift S, and you'll see that it'll go behind whichever one you're on. So number 2, let's say I said, oh, I want one to go before 2. So I'll just hit Shift S. Now that became number 3, now became number 2. Or if I want to add another one up here, boom. And we're going to name them. So I like to just call this one primaries. I do all my primary adjustments in that one. This one I'll do curves. I'm doing another one, say like a vignette or something. I'll just put VIG for vignette because I don't want to spell the whole word out. And then I'm gonna put the LUT at the end. Let me close this out just so I can have more real estate here. And I don't need the effects. Oh, you know what? Actually, let me add another one because I think I probably will most likely add effects onto this. I think I'll add that at the end. I'll do it before. With a little bit of very last thing, we'll do effects. All right, so what I'm gonna start off with, this is what I call it primary. So if you come to the bottom left here, you will see that you are on your primary wheels, the color wheels. You got like camera raw adjustments, color match, primaries. But before we do that, what I wanna do is a lot of ways to do this. You can use a color space transform tool. You can use LUTs. I'm going to do it the way of using a LUT, but basically this is log footage, and I'm going to bring it to Rec 709. So like I said, there's so many ways to do that. I already have some for Fuji, the Fuji downloaded. Was it Eterna? So we'll do Eterna. So essentially that brings us to our starting point. That's the Rec 709. We go from log, boom. That just kind of puts it into what is like your base point starting place. And this is a super like, you know, heavy look I was going for. It's like red light, the heavy backlight, bluish tint. So the colors are funky, but it's supposed to be that way. Something that you could go in and do is with primaries, I just kind of put everything that's primaries in that area. So I can, you know, push my contrast if I want to do that. Give it more of that, you know, crunchy, moody look. Before I do that, I can play with the warmth if I wanted to, or if I wanted to cool it off more. I think I might want to. The way I have it set up is kind of hard for me to see what I'm doing right now. So this is not going to be a straight up color grading tutorial. Now I need. I wanted to bring the lift up. No, I want the background to go away. So I definitely want to push that lift down a little bit and just pump the saturation. We want those colors to pop. Tint, I'll leave alone. Do that a little bit. Contrast. Then, so that's primary. So I know now that all the primary adjustments I made are in this one. Then if I want to do stuff with curves, I'll come here. I like to go to Editable Splines because it gives you this here. It gives you this little tool here to kind of feather it out. So I like to do that. So if I wanted to push out a little bit, boom, just bring down that. The reason why it's good to use nodes like this is because if you do everything in one node, you really can't, it's not as easy to make adjustments. I mean, you obviously can, but it's like easier to look here and say, okay, all my primary adjustments are here. Let me see what that's doing. And you can take it off easy. Oh, my curves are here. Let's see what that's doing. You know, throw a vignette on. So you don't have to have everything on one node. It just helps break it up and helps you to figure out what you're doing, where everything is. This is one way to do a vignette. You don't have to do vignettes like this. Come down in here, invert that, Shift H to see what it's doing. All right, let me go ahead now. Within that, I want that. That's the mask I'm making essentially. That's just going to be the shape of the vignette. Now what I'm going to do is go back to my primaries, and I'm going to mess with my lift and bring that down. And you can see that it's darkening the background a lot. And let me click off so I can just see what it's doing. Yeah, okay, I can see it now. All right, so now, you know, it's obvious. That's an obvious line. So you can grab the red dots here and just feather those out. And I just feather the heck out of it, as Kazi would say. If you guys ever follow Kazi, he is crazy with color grading. I would suggest checking him out if you want to get more in depth into color grading. Like I said, I am not a professional colorist, but I am a video editor. Sometimes I need to be over here. So I'm just making it dramatic so you can you see that. And like I said, it's hard for me to kind of tell what I'm doing. Oh, let me go back. I'm going the wrong way. Let's do that. Let me see what we got. Yeah, there we go. All right. Obviously that light's in the back, so I would cut that clip, but this is just for the look. Got that, throw an effect on. So I think I might want to do, what did I do before? I have the free version, so halation won't work for me, as you can see. So we're not going to try to do that, but I can do glow, and that's a good one to use. So you can kind of see what that's doing. And I can play with that a little bit, the shine threshold. But you can also bring that down, opacity down a little bit. Global blend, just kind of like the overall, like how much is coming in. I'll leave that where it is though. It's subtle, it's a little something. And you can play with the spread of it and where it goes and all those things like that. I push it that way. Look, we'll do something like that. If you have other plugins, pull those in. So let me just slide these out the way. So for example, I have Dehancer, which is I'm gonna throw Dehancer at the end though. I have Dehancer, which is a film conversion plugin software. If you want to look into that, I like it. It's good. I did a review on my channel of it, so you can check that out. I'll link it below. But also, if you are interested and want to look into possibly getting it, I have a discount code in the description that you can use. I think it's IBZ10. So if you want to get a discount, 10% off on any of the software, you can check it out. But yeah, so I'm not gonna, you can do like a lot of different, I'm not trying to go crazy with the film. I just actually wanted to add some halation. That's why I came in here. So you can go in and really get detailed on what you want to do. So I'm going to actually turn a lot of the effects off. Bloom, I think, is good. We'll throw bloom on. There's a vignette built in, but I came in here mainly for halation, because what halation does, if you look here around the edges and like around her eyes and things and some of the highlighted points, halation has this effect that is very like film. Like that's one of the biggest things I think that, like, when you think of film, you're thinking of that. This is not, again, not a tutorial. This is just me going through really roughly just to show you what you can do. That's a little before and after. Boom. So I just created that look on the color page. Obviously I can go in more detailed. Like I said, I would use the parts where you don't see, okay, yeah, this is the right take. And because I can't help myself, I have to actually go ahead and edit this. Let's say you have the same, you have another clip you need to add that color grade to. Go color page, make sure you have your gallery open. What you can do is right click on the screen and hit grab still. And what that does is it pops up in your gallery. But now what I'm just going to do is it's going to be apply grade to another clip. So I'm going to click on the other clip I want to add it to, hit apply grade, and then boom. And then you can go in and make your changes and your adjustments on this one, and it won't affect the one you had beforehand. But I'm not going to do all that right now. But essentially, that's what it looks like. And yeah. So if you are new to the color page and you've been wanting to get into it, but you haven't felt comfortable with it or whatever, those are some basic things you can do to get yourself going. My biggest suggestion use different nodes, label them so that way you know what aspect of the color grade that is, and then now you can kind of go in and really like, okay, actually I don't like what this film pack was doing, so let me take that off. You know what, I don't like the vignette, let's get rid of that. You know, then you can say, do I even really need the curves? Not really. You know what, forget the primaries, I'll just like the LUT and let's just roll with that. You can do that. But yeah, so use this as a starting point. Don't use this as this is how you color grade. This is literally just to help you get you started. If you need to do something quick, you can come in, just make a basic node tree, do some simple color corrections, and you can be good to go. So it's not complicated, it's not hard. You can do it. You can use the color page.